Your mom better hurry the fuck up, kid, or this is gonna go bad for both of you.
It's time to spill the beans on what Reacher's Persuader book title tells us about Season 3. For one, the stakes might be lower with this book's adaptation, but that could actually be a good thing. Plus, the huge villain in Season 3 is likely setting up what could be the most jaw-dropping scene yet in the show. So, let's dive into everything we know about the upcoming season of Reacher. Let's start with what we know about how Persuader will shape Season 3 of Reacher. The title of Lee Child's book gives us a couple of big hints about the story. It's pretty wild to think that Jack Reacher didn't get a movie adaptation until over a decade after the books became popular. While Tom Cruise's Reacher films had their moments, Amazon's series with Alan Ritchson has really hit the mark, capturing the essence of the books and keeping that gritty vibe. With over 25 books in the series, the show has plenty of material to work with. The first season adapted Child's Killing Floor, and Season 2 tackled Bad Luck and Trouble. Now, Season 3 will be all about the seventh novel, Persuader. In this one, Ritchson's Reacher goes undercover to get revenge on an old enemy. We'll see him return in 2025, and Maria Sten will be back as Reacher's sidekick, Neagley. In Persuader, Reacher starts off by rescuing a college student from what turns out to be a fake kidnapping. It's all part of a DEA operation where Reacher goes undercover with the student's dad, Beck, who's suspected of running a drug smuggling operation through his rug company. If Season 3 sticks to the book, we're in for a more contained storyline, with Reacher spending most of his time inside Beck's remote compound, hunting for clues and trying to keep his cover intact. Naturally, he'll be getting into plenty of fights and taking down bad guys along the way. One of the big twists in the book is that Beck isn't dealing drugs, but guns instead. Reacher discovers this during a raid on one of Beck's warehouses, where they find a stash of weapons and, notably, crates of Model 500 Persuader shotguns. The novel's title comes from these shotguns, which Reacher uses in the climactic finale to settle scores. On the flip side, Reacher Season 3's book title is a clever play on words, combining a reference to a shotgun with a nod to Reacher's mission. While Persuader refers to the type of shotgun featured in the story, it also highlights Reacher's task in the plot. He has to convince the bad guys he's on their side. Essentially, he's spending half his energy spinning lies and covering his tracks to blend in with the villains. For those new to the Jack Reacher saga, you might wonder where Child came up with the name for his towering hero. During a 2007 interview, the author shared that the name came to him during a period of unemployment. While shopping with his wife, who noticed Child's height made him the go-to person for reaching items on high shelves, she joked, "If this writing thing doesn't work out, you can always be a Reacher in a supermarket." And just like that, Child had his hero's name. Fans of Child's work know both he and Reacher have a sharp sense of humor and a knack for puns. Persuader captures this perfectly, reflecting both the weapon and the art of deception central to Reacher's mission. This dynamic will set Season 3 apart, as Reacher is surrounded by enemies who are nearly as clever as he is. The season promises the show's most intense fight yet, pitting Reacher against Beck's formidable bodyguard, Paulie. If done right, this showdown could be the standout moment of Amazon's Reacher series. In Season 3, things are about to get really intense with the introduction of a massive new villain. Up until now, Alan Ritchson's Jack Reacher has seemed almost unbeatable. Whether he's up against a gang of inmates or facing off with a biker gang, Reacher's been a one-man army. But that might change with the arrival of Paulie. Paulie is described in Lee Child's Persuader as a colossal figure. At 7 feet tall and built like a brick wall, he's even bigger than Reacher. To give you an idea, Reacher himself stands 6 feet 5 inches tall, and Paulie is described as being significantly larger. This size and strength advantage could mean that for the first time, Reacher might actually lose a straight fight. In Season 3, we see Reacher face off against Paulie, who is not only physically imposing, but also incredibly tough. Previously, Reacher has faced some serious threats, but none were quite strong enough to challenge him in a one-on-one fight. Paulie, on the other hand, has the potential to seriously threaten Reacher, raising the stakes in a way we haven't seen before. As the season progresses, the tension ramps up with Reacher being outsmarted, tortured, and shot at by villains, who, while dangerous, don't quite measure up to Paulie. This new villain's presence adds a whole new layer of suspense and danger to the series, making Season 3 the most intense and high stakes yet. Furthermore, Amazon Prime Video is expanding the Reacher universe with a spin-off centered on Frances Neagley, a fan-favorite character. It's exciting news that Neagley is getting her own series, but there's one big thing the show should watch out for: avoiding too many Jack Reacher cameos. Neagley's presence in all 3 Reacher seasons hinted at this spin-off, especially since she's only a minor character in Lee Child's books. Season 2 sets the stage nicely by showing Neagley as a private investigator when she's not working with Reacher. This spin-off could dive into her solo investigations, which is a great angle. However, to keep the Reacher series special, the spin-off should avoid making Jack Reacher a frequent guest star. In Season 2, Reacher prefers to be called only for emergencies and loves his solo, wandering lifestyle. Too many cameos might weaken this aspect of his character and make him seem less of the lone wolf hero he's known for. Neagley and Reacher have a great dynamic, with Neagley often outshining Reacher with her smarts. It's fun to see them team up occasionally, like in Seasons 1 and 2, but having Reacher pop up too often in Neagley's series could undermine his image as the independent, self-reliant investigator. Keeping Reacher's appearances occasional and meaningful will respect his character's preference for solitude while still allowing for some great crossover moments. On the bright side, Season 2 shows that Neagley is more than capable of holding her own in a spin-off. Season 2 really highlights her sharp crime-solving skills, often matching or even surpassing Reacher's knack for finding clues and cracking cases. She's not just smart, she's tough too, holding her own in fights and taking down multiple villains solo. Neagley might come across as more stoic and reserved compared to Reacher, but the show gives her depth by revealing her emotional side, especially when Guy Russo dies. Her military background adds another layer to her character. Despite being looked down upon by some officers, she proves herself through sheer grit and determination. With all these traits, Neagley's spin-off has a solid foundation. Her intelligence, strength, and compelling backstory make her more than capable of leading her own series. Lastly, I'm thinking that since Reacher Season 3 is adapting Persuader, the next logical step would be to tackle Personal, which is the 19th novel in the series. In Persuader, Jack Reacher is driven by a quest for revenge against a man named Quinn, whom he believed he had killed a decade ago. Quinn is connected to the murder of Reacher's army colleague Cole, whose death has haunted him. Given how impactful Cole's death is on Reacher's character, it seems like a natural progression to see Personal adapted next. In Personal, Reacher is called back by the army to help track down a sniper who's targeting the president of France. While not the highest-rated book, Personal is a fan favorite and an engaging read. The novel touches on Reacher's lingering feelings about Cole's death, especially through his new partner, Casey Nice, who reminds him of her. Amazon's show has been known to weave in elements from the books creatively, as seen with Finlay's surprise cameo in Season 2. Although Personal isn't a direct sequel to Persuader, it builds on the emotional weight of Cole's death, making it a fitting choice for Season 4. It would seamlessly continue the themes from Season 3 while introducing a fresh new storyline. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.